and today I have two that with me today. Introduce yourselves.
I am Michelle, known as Michelle with two L's.
And I am Natalie, known as Natalie the Red from Force of Light Entertainment.
Yes, yeah, good to be back with you, Bob.
Pleasure to be here.
And good to be back. So today we will be talking about Roto, aka Baby Yoda. So what what do you guys think about what they did with the Boba Fett? How they switched up with the whole, that in the end of Mandalorian season 2, we thought that the baby was gonna go with Luke, but then in the Boba Fett, he really ended up with the Mandalorian then.
Well, I have been saying since the season 2 of The Mandalorian ended that Baby Yoda or Grogu, whatever you want to call him, that he would be back with Mando for season 3 because there's no way on earth they were going to let The Mandalorian have a show without the child.
You gotta have the baby,
Yeah.
as you call him, Bob. And I like to call him that too, because he is just a cute little baby.
Yeah, so I was not surprised at all that he was with him, and especially once Luke gave him that decision, you knew what he was going to pick. The only thing I'd say I was surprised is that, well, we don't know how much time actually went by. That's the thing. I guess we don't really know what the time period was between the end of season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. But I always knew he was going to be in season 3 very early on, if not in the very first episode. And obviously he's going to be in the first episode because you really just, The Mandalorian, as far as the TV show, it really just is Mando. It's like the adventures of Mando and Grogu. Like that, it is what it is.
That is the show.
You either like it or you don't like it, but that is the show. So I was not surprised that he's back with Mando.
Yeah, like how do you think they're gonna fit Roto story into season 3? Because like we already know his name, we already know his path. So how are they gonna develop his story to make the fan base not think, oh, we're using the character now for money purposes and to sell more merchandise.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: they are. I mean, Grogu is like he's a world phenomenon.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you're Star Wars, why not use him to sell merchandise, especially in a Star Wars show where, say, like I'm sure you know, one of our beloved shows is Stranger Things. They're able to get all kinds of advertisement money, like through Coca-Cola, Nike, like because they can do product placement in their show for these different companies. Star Wars can't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've got to depend on selling lightsabers and selling Grogu toys and things like that.
Like actual Star Wars paraphernalia.
Yeah, so it doesn't bother me that they are going to use Grogu. To me, that's the smart business move here.
Right.
I mean, that's why Grogu was made. I mean, they knew what they were doing, and it worked.
Because we love them.
And I buy like everything Grogu. So, I mean, it is what it is. That doesn't bother me at all. Again, I just think that's kind of smart business planning.
What do you think they can add to his story in season 3? Because we really don't know who where is he really who was the one who found him, and also if he talk.
So I've heard some like speculation for season 3 from what seems to be some decent sources. I don't know. It feels like they could explore that a little maybe in season 3.
Yeah.
Maybe his origins a little more, possibly. But then also, I want to go back to kind of you saying you were surprised that he went back to Mando as fast. I think there's a line in the episode where Luke and Ahsoka are in it together. I think that when Ahsoka and Luke, she walks up behind Luke. And it's been long enough since I've watched that. I forget what she says, but it's the way she says it. I don't know. To me, or they talk about his attachment to the Mandalorian, and Luke's kind of what do I do? And Ahsoka was like, you'll know what to do, basically.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was. And to me, the way it was said, here's what I'm thinking. He's going to go off with Mando. They're going to have their adventures, but I think at some point, I've said this from the beginning. I think Grogu, I think that's why the dark saber was put into the show. Of course, the dark saber representing a character that was both a Mandalorian, the first Mandalorian Jedi. I think Grogu's going to end up being a mix. And I think especially even adding Ahsoka into the show, which Ahsoka, as she says in Rebels, I am no Jedi, but is a very strong Force user, and of course was a Jedi until she left the Order. I think Grogu is going to continue to be developed as a Jedi down the road, and because here's my point, Luke. It would be kind of hypocritical for Luke to not accept some attachments when Luke was very attached to his friends, and even it's his love for his father that redeems his father.
I mean, Luke was born out of attachment.
Literally, he came from attachment, Anakin's attachment. I think eventually, he did that as a test to see where Grogu's heart lied, and I think eventually him and Ahsoka will come to an agreement that some attachment is okay.
Yeah, good even.
Because I know there's a rumor too. Get this, it's not even a rumor. We know that Hayden Christensen is going to be in the Ahsoka show. Yeah. So is it going to be a flashback? Or is he going to appear as a Force ghost, possibly, which is what I hope happens. And I just think through Luke's experiences and through Ahsoka's experiences, I think they're going to both agree that Grogu can further be trained. I say all that to say, I think that's still in the plan.
And he can be learning, obviously, from his father
from
at this
Mando.
point, from Mando, some of the Mandalorian things and codes and morals. And so he's basically going to be this little baddie, this perfect little mixture, I think, is like where he might be going.
And the fact that he kind of goes with Mando overall will be why he's not like at the Jedi Temple when Kylo Ren down the road wipes everybody out.
Has a moment.
Yeah. So that's where I think the show's going. I think Grogu will eventually be trained even more in the Force.
Yeah.
I think they've set that up with the conversation between Luke and Ahsoka.
Like, get you a kid who can do both.
Yeah.
He can be both.
He can.
What do you think about with with the Mandalorian season 3 coming out in February, and with almost that put back their release date until the end of September, and we're getting 3 episodes. Do you think that's gonna affect when Mandalorian season 3 is gonna air, or do you think that enough time to have a Star Wars show before Mandalorian come back?
I think if Andor is good, I think it's fine. Plus, Mando, it has a good reputation for being good at this point, so I think people are excited for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And even like the leaked trailer, which I mean, when are we going to get an actual trailer? Like it looks really good. It does. It still looks to be very peak Star Wars TV. So I think it'll be fine. I do wonder if it will get pushed, if everything will get pushed back a little bit. I heard, and I think it makes sense. One of the reasons Andor could be, I don't know this for a fact, could be pushed back is because they've had like a lot of backlog stuff where like the VFX department hasn't had enough time. Like you even hear that they even came out and said that about Obi-Wan. Like some of the people working on it were like, we didn't have the time, basically. So it could be kind of they learn from mistakes and they're like, let's give them an additional month to work on this show and to make it look better. So I wonder if maybe everything gets bumped back a little bit, possibly, which I'd be fine with. I would rather take another month and give the VFX department the time they need.
Better.
Yeah. So it doesn't look bad at certain points. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but like, but they're giving a 3 episode, and I don't know how many episodes it's gonna have, but having 3 episodes with a show that with Disney Plus perspective commute every week. If it only have about seven or 8 episodes.
Bob, it's
Yeah.
supposed I can tell you Andor is supposed to have 12.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get 3, and then I think for the next 9 weeks we'll get 1. Is my current understanding of the
That's how
situation.
Hulu does some of their shows. So
Okay, yeah.
kind of makes sense.
Well, and Disney owns
Yeah,
Hulu.
that's true.
So that's what I think it will happen with it.
Like I'm more excited for Mandalorian than any
Yeah.
other Star Wars show because, to be honest, I really didn't like Rogue One. I really didn't connect with any of the characters. I just felt like n- none of the characters really they didn't have no connection, and it just felt flat. And
Definitely.
it felt flat. And when I found out they were doing a show in Robin Mobile, I said, "Oh, why are you making this for? Nobody interested. Nobody interested." Then you make something, like something better than this because, like, I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in. I'm interested in see something like you already promised us that we're getting a new Star Wars movie with a new director. Where that information? You promised us all these good stuff for celebrating, for Star Wars celebrating. Where are all this information? Like we really haven't had any like remotely good Star Wars content in a while, and
Mhm.
sorry to say that Obi-Wan Kenobi was way too overhyped. It was like,
It
oh,
was.
the show, like, I was very excited. I said, oh, the show's gonna be good, but then in the end, it felt flat on its face. It fell
It
flat on
did.
its face, and I tried to watch episode 2, but it couldn't. I did everything is not making sense. It's like everything is just spinning around in all sorts of things. That what's going on here? Like, what's the main plot? What are you
Yeah.
going? What are you going for? And then, and it just felt very off. And
Oh, definitely. I
it,
don't know, Bob, if you've seen any of our reviews. I was so disappointed with Kenobi. I thought I had Kenobi should have been like, for starters, that should have been a 2-hour, well-written movie that Vader is pretty much just the main villain that kind of hovers over the movie. And instead we got 6 sloppy episodes that, as you say, fell flat, and it was disappointing. And
There wasn't much quality or quantity
no, and
in this case.
I think what made it so much worse for Obi-Wan, as we've said in some of our videos, is they put it out the same day Stranger Things season 4 came out,
Like, what were you thinking?
which was phenomenal, and it just kind of highlighted how bad Kenobi was.
The writing and
Yeah. But you're totally right. And I don't even know if I should say it was overhyped, because when you're making a show about, with Ewan McGregor coming back and Hayden Christensen coming back and Obi-Wan versus Vader,
like, it should be hyped.
it should be hyped.
Yeah.
And it should try to live up to the hype. But I mean, it didn't come anywhere close to the hype just of those names. And that's what was so disappointing.
no, it was disappointing in a way because like right now with Disney Plus in general, they, like, you have all these shows, all these Marvel shows that are coming out, and then you have all these Star Wars content, and like, and then you have Netflix and all these different streaming shows that having their TV show or movie or anything all overtopping it. So with Stranger Things season 4 coming out when Obi-Wan Kenobi came out, it was a little bit like, okay, which one would get the bigger audience, Stranger Things or Obi-Wan? Both communities are very big on the fan base, but with Stranger Things, it was more of a good quality, and it had the really good aspect to it. And with Obi-Wan, it just felt like, Oh, after the premiere, nobody even talked about it. It was like everything was like, oh, we need the show to end already.
And
Will these episode get better?
yes, well, and Bob, the point you just made, it that shows who won the viewing contest. Basically, Stranger Things,
I think by far.
because what did people talk about all summer? Stranger Things. What did they not talk about? Obi-Wan.
What's still dominating TikTok with the youth? Stranger Things. Unfortunately, not so much Obi-Wan.
Well, and it just as you said, it fell flat. Like when it's not. And I think too, I don't know if you paid attention, Bob, to the new CEO of Warner Media
Yeah,
or Warner Brothers.
I've been paying attention. It's hot fire right now. It's like or every social media. It's like all of us are really pissed. Like I'm pissed myself. I did. Oh, you're canceling a movie that you canceled a movie that already been filmed. You have people work. I'm sorry for them, family. We have people work their acting or doing this movie in the middle of a global crisis, and you're talking about oh now you're gonna cancel it and put it down the garbage. Like it make no sense.
I understand that the way people feel about that. You would think, can't you just put it on HBO Max and recoup a little bit of money out of it? But what I appreciate about this new CEO, who doesn't seem to be playing around with this, is he literally made the statement. It goes back to what you were saying a minute ago. He said, we are going to put out quality over quantity. And that's something that I think Disney, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel, needs to listen to. Quality over quantity.
Wins every time.
I would rather get one Star Wars show a year if that Star Wars show is as good as Stranger Things season 4, like or The Mandalorian season 2 that I thought was so good. I think they've kind of fallen into that, and I think you saw that with Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi. We just got a lot of quantity of Star Wars, but they didn't really take time to give us quality Star Wars, which is what I'm looking for personally.
I feel like with some of the streaming services now and they try to make the show as quick as possible or movie to get it out there, and then when it come out the fans are not happy because they focused on getting that product watched and not focused on let them make this thing worthwhile and let tell the fans we know what we're doing with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I mean, again, quality over quantity
any day.
And I think the quality, I think there's two shows. I think Andor looks pretty good. I think
it does look interesting and it could be well done. I mean, by the looks of it.
It doesn't have a lot of hype. I will say that. Like people don't seem to be that excited about it, and I think some of that could be because they picked a character that was in one movie that died off.
That was kind of dead in the water.
Yeah, and
no
I think maybe they should have almost just picked a new character and told us the story with, and maybe people be a little more interested. But besides that, so Andor, we're definitely going to watch it and give it a chance because it actually does look good. But I think moving forward, I really do believe that there's probably a lot of tender love and care placed into The Mandalorian season 3 and Ahsoka season 1.
Because surely they know that's kind of their bread and butter.
Oh, yeah.
It's been and it probably will be for a while.
Yes. So I expect both Mando season 3 and Ahsoka, which Dave Filoni is working on. I mean, totally. That's his show. Like he's writing the show, and I enjoyed Rebels a lot, which he did. I expect it to be very good. I really do.
Really, like you expect it to be. I mean, because it probably is gonna be because it's their best show.
If Ahsoka, I'm talking about Ahsoka.
Oh, Ahsoka. Okay.
If Ahsoka is as poorly written as Kenobi, I will be so disappointed. I don't know how much lower we can go than what I saw with Kenobi. I'm just being honest.
How low can you go, Disney?
Well, and the first I don't know about you, Bob. I only enjoyed the episodes with Mando in them for the Book of Boba Fett.
Same here. I didn't even pay attention to watching the show. I just said, "Oh, listen." When I found out that the baby wanted to be, I said, "Oh, let me watch this episode." And I don't care about the other episode. I only care about the baby episode and the finale, and that's it. But the rest of the show in general, it was just like another show that should have been done properly. But you know, it wasn't handled the right way.
Yeah, I think with Book of Boba Fett, I feel like they just kind of slopped a show together. Like that. I
Yeah.
think Book of Boba Fett is truly an example of again
Just pumping out content,
content,
but not
content,
worrying
content.
if it's
If it's
good
good.
content.
Yeah. Because Boba Fett, and then I actually feel bad for that lead actor. He's such a good Star Wars fan and like really good to the fans.
That's what we don't like too. Whether it's that or the Obi-Wan, it's like some of these
Yeah.
actors and actors, like they deserve better,
That's why I have hope. I have hope though, for because I hated it for Hayden Christensen that he came back and this is what they put him in. Because he got so much hate from the prequels when he was younger. I really hope, I really think Hayden will be redeemed in how they use him in Ahsoka. I think Filoni will use him very wisely and well. And then I also think Tamika Morrison, I believe is his name, who plays Boba Fett. I am the rumor I'm hearing is that he's going to show up in Mando season 3, and we're going to get the baddie Boba Fett that we got in Mando season 2. We're going to get that guy back, which is who everyone wants. Not
that's who the people want.
people don't want Mr. Nice Guy that they tried to make him into.
Like I love Mr. Rogers, but that's not what we're tuning in for.
No, I just feel like with Arnold getting put back, I feel like it due to it. I totally don't know what the real reason is, but I feel like with it being delayed, it ought to possibly be because there's a lot of stuff coming out in leading up to the show, because you have the Lord of the Rings show coming out September 2nd, then you have a week prior to Lord of the Rings, you have the Game of Thrones prequel show on HBO Max. So there's a lot of different stuff that are coming out this month that's a little bit overwhelming, and also don't know how they intertwine with each other. Like this weekend, you have a new Netflix show came out, The Sandman. Then you had the new Predator movie came out this week. Did we then on Hulu, Top Prey, that's been getting phenomenal reviews from everybody I've spoken to, and I'm just interested to see what they're talking about with it.
Hey,
And
it's
so,
good. We just reviewed it.
Yeah.
We're gonna actually upload that today. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too.
and so there's a lot of stuff that intertwining with each other. So that's another thing. Like will people tune in into the things that they talk, that like Prey or on Netflix, because there's so many different stuff coming out this month on all these different streaming shows with it. So it's gonna be interesting which one is gonna get the most popularity and which one is not gonna do so well.
Well,
Yes.
you also bring up a point. I think that you could bring up like which is better at times to just put it out the way Netflix did, like Stranger Things Volume 1, Volume 2, or to do the week to week. Because here's what I think again with Disney. When you go the week to week route, your show better be really good. Because
Yeah.
as you were just saying, there is a lot of competition
We
in
live
today's
in
time.
a streaming world now.
We do. So if you are putting out a show that's supposed to be appointment television, like people are supposed to be like, yay, Obi-Wan comes out today, then you better make Obi-Wan like worth that build up and excitement. Because if not, you gave us a week to sit around and think about how
average it was and how you really don't care to see what happens.
and how
next.
many holes they put in each episode that you're like, well, that didn't make any sense. Like if your show's not really good, then you probably should just put it out to be binged. because
Yeah.
then people absorb, take it in, and move on.
It's like people are more likely to, they're like, well, I've watched 2 episodes now. Let me go to the third one, since I'm just doing it in one sitting on a Saturday or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so hopefully they retool and put out true appointment television.
Like to be honest, like with Netflix, I liked what they're doing with putting the show out there all at once, but at the same time, with a viewer like me, I wanna short it in. I don't wanna like watch it. I don't wanna binge watch it, and then say, oh, what I'm gonna watch next. The show is ending. The show is already ending. So what I try to do is I try to separate it. So like I watch a few episodes one day and then a few episodes the other day. So
Yeah.
I break it up in half, and then I try to talk about it on social media and get people to talk about the show even more. I know with Stranger Things, Netflix blew their money with it. They literally blew out multiple money on how big the show was gonna be, and the production value, like that's holy crap, like they really like spend all this money on this one show, and it's really interesting. That I heard that Netflix not doing so well, but I said to myself, no, they're not true. It Stranger Things has been really dominating Netflix. So now, what is the next show that will dominate Netflix? Because Netflix,
Well,
Because that's kind of like their Mandalorian.
oh, definitely, and they were able to spread that out to keep people paying from May to July. So at least 3 months is what,
Which really was smart.
which is what Stranger Things helped with. I think Netflix is in a little bit of financial trouble, but I think it's because, okay, so here's a good example. Say you got Stranger Things season 4, which people are going to watch for hours and hours, and then it made a lot of people go back and watch all the seasons over.
Yeah.
I know so many people who went back and watched all the seasons.
Like several at one time, like
yes.
different people in different part. Like they're like, oh yeah, I went back to the beginning, so it
So-
did inspire that.
So that's what. So you've got a Stranger Things that has the same budget as that new movie they just put out, The Gray Man, with Ryan Gosling
yeah.
and Captain America, Chris Evans. And here's my point. That's a bad financial move. You've got one thing, Stranger Things, that covers 3 months of people watching. You have The Gray Man, same price tag on it, that people may or may not watch for 2 hours and then never think about again.
Yeah.
So my point is I think they have made some bad financial moves, but they need to begin to focus on like TV shows that people are going to rewatch.
Right.
It's what you got to do if you're a streaming service.
It's true.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, like I feel like sometimes Netflix is beating a dead horse because some of their stuff are not really good,
Yeah,
and
a lot of it's not.
and whenever there is a good show that come out, the show should either be a hit and then Netflix can cancel it right after one season, like
Yeah.
they just canceled the show a few days ago. Told something involving a vampire show. I said, oh, I wasn't paying attention. Like Netflix, I don't know what this show was, but like, do I tell? No, I don't tell. Like Netflix really need to. They need to do the. They need to do. They need to think outside of the box. Like with the Dream Man. It seemed like your ordinary action movie. Some people fight and all this stuff, and
And the bottom line, I think they're finding this out, and clearly, if you listen to the new CEO of Warner's, he pretty much addresses that. Like, there's just no way and clearly it's not. It's just not financially viable to put $100 million movie on a streaming service with no ability for it to make money in the theater, in the aftermarket through DVDs and stuff. Like that's just not a successful route.
I mean, I'm not the best with finances, but yeah, what you just said, I'm not sure what somebody was thinking.
Like if
next.
Netflix is going to keep making movies that they put 100 million into, how about this Netflix put in the theater for a month and then put it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Like
You'd
at
have
least
a better bet of getting a return.
even if you got 10 million in the theater,
Yeah.
you got 10
it's
million.
a good head start.
Yeah, like it's I just don't I think Netflix they need to adjust some things, which surely they will. We'll see.
Yeah, like that, like to be honest, the only thing that Netflix does, some things good are some like anime shows and some TV shows, like that about it. But like some of the product they put out there, it had no interest, no rhyme or reason to either be on the TV show. And then also you have about two DC shows on there that are not on HBO Max, and then it made me wonder. I said, why isn't it on HBO Max? Why is Netflix putting? Why it did a Netflix original and HBO Max did not, taking the proper amount to put it on their streaming service because they have the right to DC. So it seemed like there's a lot of different avenues when it comes to streaming services, and then there's a lot of people, balking at a lot of different companies like Disney Plus. For instance, you have a new Marvel show coming out in a few weeks, so She-Hulk, and 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 it looked okay, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
it looked like it looked too comedy like. I said, we already got Miss Marvel. That was a good show, but tell me that something a little bit more serious. Like I love the comedy factor here, but can we do something a little bit less comedy? I already had to sit through 1 hour of god awful Thor movie of Love and Thunder, where I literally had to sit through that freaking movie and then, can I please have my money back?
I
I
like
mean,
the passion, Bob. Tell us how you really
Yeah,
feel.
do you
I
know
like it.
we didn't even go see
Yeah, we
that
haven't
movie
seen
or
it.
review it cuz I just didn't look good to me. And then everyone from what I heard I was like, "Well, I'm glad I didn't waste my money."
I really was really upset the way they handled Dane Tory with her cancer. It was a big slap in the face. They made it look like comedy, and then it did. Did how you handle a situation with cancer by putting comedy over it? Like, come on, mom, you can do better than this. Did it? And then with the end credit scene, I said, did not Marvel, did the beat the trap. I need my money back. This whole summer had that been filled with garbage movie, like hot garbage movie after another. I said, can we please get something decent? Like, I already had to sit through all these garbage movies the past couple of weeks. Can we at least have a decent movie?
Bob, it goes back to what I've said multiple times now. Quality over quantity.
Yeah, it's like,
Marvel is all about pushing out content,
They just
content.
pump it out. They don't
And it's
care if
like,
it's good. I don't think.
Why don't we
sometimes.
slow it down and go back to like the basics and start making some good content?
Let's think.
yeah, like with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever looked like a good movie, but after that, are they gonna do that justice? Are they going to honor Chadwick Boseman, or are they just gonna say, hey, listen, it did our movie now, we're gonna put it the way we want to. So I'm excited, but at the same time, a little bit worried about it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I enjoyed the trailer. It actually looked interesting to me. We'll see if like how I feel about. I mean, that was just a teaser.
Yeah.
So we'll see how I feel about like the first official trailer. I mean, I feel like they'll make Shuri by the end of the movie Black Panther because I know she becomes Black Panther for a time in the comics. But that was just that they got dealt a tough hand on that one.
They did.
Yeah, like to be honest, like this summer for movies had not really been anything near as good as what people were hoping for, like, or even dreaming of seeing. Like a lot of the movies are just coming out to make money, and to be honest, like there hasn't been anything remotely good. Like there has been like mediocre movies at best.
Yeah, and a good thing it's like if you I mean that you can make money, I guess, but they've been slipping in the box office as
Yeah.
people get tired of what you're saying, going and seeing something mediocre at best.
Because then people, kind of come to expect that when they're thinking to go see a new Marvel movie.
Compare that, which is I think maybe why even Batwoman or whatever was canceled, because he's like, no, this is damage control. Like we
Yeah.
don't need any more bad movies coming out, type
Right.
thing. But yeah, it's Marvel. Them and Star Wars both have been kind of a mess lately.
Yeah, like that in general. This year for movies in the movie theater and the world and everything going on has just been like a really big trap show. Like and like streaming services now and they are really taking over. And to be honest, I would rather sit at home and watch the streaming services than go to the movies. Like over this weekend you have Bullet Train came out with Brad Pitt, and a bunch of reviewers thought they all there's no plot, there's only like acting, and I said once in a while people don't want a plot. They want a good movie where there's blood, violence, and a good time. Like with me, I already had to sit through movie that I literally regret watching and literally went on social media and talked and literally made a whole bad review about it. And to be honest, I'm excited about Team Bullet Train tonight and the team what it is. Because to be honest, we don't need movies need a plot. Movies need an end, a middle, and a beginning and a plot. But at the same time, I want to watch a movie now where after the tone of my brain, I have fun with it, and no
Yeah.
politics, no nothing. That's a pure good movie. The only movie that had me laughing from beginning to end was Minions, and that's the
No.
only movie I really enjoyed it somewhat. The rest of the movies, I wasn't feeling it. I was
You
not.
didn't like Top Gun?
No, I felt like Tom Cruise is too old. He needs to retire already. I mean, I, I
Bob,
mean,
you're being ageist.
I mean, really, like I did. Uh, I went to see it on Memorial Day, and I did. Okay, I like the special effect. I like everything. Like I like everything, but at the same time, it's like, can we do something original with Hollywood? Can we do something original idea and not bringing actor back to revive the world and have the same plot over and over again? The opponent is retired, and now we have to, and then now they have to train somebody else. Can we please do something different with Hollywood? Can we please that group of people together and have original content?
Hey,
So
I understand that, but if you don't ever do a sequel, you don't get The Empire Strikes Back, you don't get
True.
Terminator 2, you don't get Aliens. There's some amazing sequels out there too.
You don't get season 2 of Stranger Things. Sometimes you got to make that sequel. You got to make
Well,
that
that was a
second part.
show. That was a little different.
You don't get a part 2 of The Quiet Place.
Yeah, Quiet Place Part 2 is great.
Which was
Well,
amazing.
yeah, if you I hope you enjoy Bullet Train. I've heard different opinions on that, but then also again, I think you'll enjoy Prey if you watch
Yeah,
that
I
on
do
Hulu.
too.
It's pretty
yeah,
good.
like to be honest, I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I'm a big horror fan, and I've been hearing multiple things about how what people were saying about it. Right now, I'm in the middle of binge watching The Sandman on Netflix. I'm almost done with it, and then I have a bunch of other content I need to watch. So like hopefully I get to watch it tomorrow morning or something, because I'm just interested on what people are really saying about it.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
definitely check it out for yourself.
I will, but it was good having you guys come here, and where can people find you?
You can find us at Forcefly Entertainment on YouTube, also Forcefly Entertainment on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes. Thank you for having
Yeah,
us, Bob. It's
it's
been too long.
it's always fun chatting with you, Bob. Nice
Yes,
to talk with you.
yes, and